Yeah, welcome everybody for our last book club with our last session on Tathiana Mota's Intermissive Course book. As per usual, we're recording the meeting, so that will be available later on YouTube. It'll be also available for other people who aren't here. We are going to have at the end of the session today, hopefully we'll be visited by the authors of the next book that we'll be starting next year. So that'll be a little surprise. We'll reveal the book towards the end of the session, I reckon. Keep the suspense until then. I think there's nothing else really other than the usual, right? We're here to discuss things that we wanted to keep an open mind about, don't believe anything. We're all here to experience and have come to our own views. And I think we have some good questions during the breaks, hopefully talk about as well. Like in the chat, right, there were some questions that are still open. So yeah, but unless there's anything else, I think we can start, and I'll hand over to Tathiana.
Hello, everyone. I hope you are well today and ready for our last session. It's been quite a great journey, at least for me, to reflect on the Intermissive Course and my achievements, my omissions, and the next steps, right? What I could be doing in my life, in my priorities, in order to complete the practices that I've set to myself. And I hope that these discussions have helped you guys as well. Today we are going to do a different kind of meeting. And we are going to be reflecting on our lives and our next steps, right? So first thing I wanted to tell you all, I want to let you all know that we are now in the extra-physical dimension. We all have desommated. We are not conscients anymore, and we are now resuming our extra-physical life as consciexes. Your heart has stopped a couple of days ago, and this is an extra-physical reunion. As a facilitator of this group, I have received the task to let you know of your new condition. So what are the next steps? What's going to happen now as we are back to our extra-physical reality and we have left our previous life at that point? So we have already started, actually. We have been together discussing the Intermissive Course for one reason. The discussions have allowed us to reflect on our lives, our achievements, our mistakes. We have shared experiences and helped each other. And now we have the next step. In a few minutes, you will have a one-on-one meeting with your evolutionologist or your evolutionary orienter. This meeting is an important moment for you, as you will give them a report on your previous life. So this is going to happen to all of us, right? Including myself, okay? So what are you going to do now? What we are going to do now? We are going to, I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to reflect at this moment on our achievements in our last life. What we have done, what we have completed, what we have been successful, our accomplishments, the talents we developed, the strong traits that we used, and how we helped and we gave our contribution to humanity. So in this moment, before your meeting with your evolutionologist, you are going to write about these achievements, taking 3 points into consideration. The first one, your ego karma. The second one, your group karma. And the third one, your poly karma. So in terms of ego karma, for example, some things that you can think of, or that we all can think of when we are doing or creating this report is, in terms of ego karma, our body, how much did we take care of our soma during that life? How much did we take care of in terms of food, sleep, exercise? How much poison did you inoculate into your body? Or how well did you take care of it? In terms of your routines, how did you organize your life, your physical life, in a way that you could help your own body and own mind and your brain to function well? Any addictions that you had that you should have avoided? Have you changed anything in yourself? Have you created different kinds of techniques to take care of your body and mind? So these are all examples of things that you can think of when you do your report. In terms of group karma, did you take care of anyone in your life? How did you connect with your family, with your friends, with your workmates, and the people around you? How were these relationships? Were you able to perform any rescues in your family? Any critical reconciliations that you knew you had that opportunity and you did? How did it work for you? What have you done to make a difference in your family, in the community closer to you, and the people who you were interacting with throughout this life that has just ended? And in terms of polykarma, some things that you can think about are, have you left anything for humanity in terms of knowledge, ideas, something libertarian that you've done, something innovative that will change, that will give a contribution to change the planet, something cosmoethical that is sort of like a seed that will grow in the future when you are not even there anymore and make a difference in the world? What are the contributions that you have made to people that you don't even know, and that for some reason, in a way, you were able to help them somehow? So these are some ideas for you to reflect on your achievements of this life that has just ended. And that's what you're going to do now, okay? You're going to reflect on your achievements based on these three areas and make your notes. So we are going to give you 8 minutes so you can make your notes. Is it okay?
I have one question, Tathiana.
Yes.
In group karma, you talked about whether we did any rescues, and I just wanted to ask with you what you mean by that.
Yes, for example, you have a family member who you had a very difficult relationship with, or they were going through a very difficult situation. They had huge kinds of problems. For example, their lives were going in the wrong way, and you were able to help them throughout your life, and in a way contribute for them to have a healthier life, a more positive life, a more organized life, or anything related.
Yeah, thanks.
So
Okay.
I also have a question here in the ego karma.
Yes.
It can be also something not related with the body, but like the changes I've done with myself, or
Yes.
yes.
Anything, body and mind, okay? So I'll start counting the minutes now, and you just don't worry about the time, I'll let you know, okay? So we have finished the time. We are going to go to the breakout rooms now and share some ideas about these topics, okay? So if you could, can you organize that, Michiko or Magali? All right, everyone, now we are all back. So we are going to have now a few minutes to discuss your ideas, the ideas that you had for your report. So who wants to start?
I want to I was telling my group, but then it dropped, and I saw polykarma when I did this reflection in another way, not only books, because yeah, I didn't wrote a book yet, but I saw, wow, at least I translated one book, or I did one verbatim, or I let things that is like many things that I was in front, like writing pieces of a course in conscientiology, or articles, or things that will like in CAEC, right? The Via Forestalis. I was the one ahead this project. I also was ahead a project that was physical, that was the QR code that people from all over can come to say I can hear that things. And I thought that is more or less also that is a question, but for me seems that is polykarmic. I don't know, what do you think, if it's not or if it is? It just was several things comes to me, like also Penta for me was polykarma, and I put it here, and I don't know.
Yeah, very interesting, because now we have died and we cannot go back, right? So we do have to stop and think about sometimes little things that we have done, we did in the life, that actually gave a contribution, like a little coin to our polykarmic account, right? We usually think that, oh, if I write a book, I'm doing a polykarmic thing. It depends, right? It really depends on the book, on the public, on the target audience, on what you're writing. So, for example, the conference in Adelaide, that unfortunately we are not going to be able to do it anymore, Kim. Somebody else has to take over, but anyway, we tried. Like an event like that has so many little things that we have to do to make it happen, that sometimes you don't think that the result will be polykarmic. So, and it's not a book, right? And this is the reflection that we need to make, I guess, to understand that things that we had done, it could be using our communication, using our ideas, using our energy, like Penta, just like you said, that gives this contribution to our polykarmic account, right?
Yeah. I put here events also, because of the International Week and all these events that I've been part of, or, I think these things, maybe when you start something like this, it affects a whole group, intra-physical group. So those things starts to come to me as a polykarmic thing. That could be a polykarmic thing.
Yes, definitely. I don't know what you all guys think, but I think this would be definitely the case.
Listening to Magali, I was just thinking about the concept of JazzCon, Can we expand it a little bit? Consensual gestations? Could it be like this physical entrepreneurship and, maybe we can start listing that, because when we think about JazzCon, right, we just think about the written ones, articles, books, verbets, put on paper, it's a JazzCon, but isn't what we're doing there in Adelaide a big JazzCon? Isn't it a consensual gestation, this big event that is to come? I don't know if you can stretch the concept, right? But I was thinking about it.
Yeah. And maybe you have like people who can have written a wonderful book and not changed one thing in their lives, in their traits, recycled anything. So that's the idea, like in my case, how have I contributed to my polykarmic account so far, right? What have I done? What did I do in different areas of my life that was a little contribution to my polykarma?
And
yeah.
No, sorry, I thought you.
Go ahead.
No, I just want to say to Adina, because when we were in the group and she was a little bit of like polykarma, she didn't have, and then I say, Adina is a translator, for Romanian books, and she translates the books. She getting a group there. She did the event there, and I think it was poor when we were in the group. I think she was like, "Oh, you know, it's like that didn't come out from her. You know, seeing her strong traits, I think was a little bit difficult to her to see as a polykarma too."
Definitely. Adina, can you imagine how many people have read or will read the ideas that you were able to translate and change their lives and change people's lives around them and recuperate cons just because of your act, and people that you don't even know, maybe that you will never know or that you'll meet in the future. So definitely this is one example.
Yeah, well, theoretically, I understand. Honestly, I don't dare to think so big. Yes, it's obvious that generally everything we do in conscienciology impacts a lot of people. What for instance, in case of Penta, I have a doubt, right? In Penta, generally, we assist consciousnesses that belong to our group karmic, let's say, that have problems that we overpassed. I have never thought that in my Penta I can assist consciousnesses that don't belong from any group karmic. And I thought that this is that polykarmic level when you assist everyone, regardless the group. I think that it is a stage of a very evolved consciousness, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It depends, really, because everyone is different and the levels of Penta are different as well. And your Penta or my Penta could evolve as well throughout the years, right? So obviously, when you start doing Penta, you won't have like the mega intruder. The helpers will not do that to you. But once you have developed more parapsychic and energetic abilities, you'll be able to receive these other kinds of consciousnesses into your psychosphere and be able to assist them and you know, be well, manage that, right? That the intrusion. So think about Penta as something dynamic. It's not something that's just like that, you know? Maybe at this stage, you feel that you are still assisting people from your group karma and even yourself, like self-intrusion, it could be as well. But if you feel it's like that at this moment, it doesn't mean it's not gonna change. It's not gonna change. It's not gonna evolve. It's not gonna be more complex, you know? So this is the point. Good. Can we go ahead? Yes? So guys, now we are going to the second part of our report, okay? Let me try to share with you my screen. And we are going to, so the first part of the report was about our accomplishments, right? The second part of the report is about our omissions. So what haven't we achieved or accomplished or done that we were supposed to be doing, that we had set to ourselves in terms of goals, of recyclings, of assistance, interassistance, self-overcomings that we haven't done. And the same thing regarding the ego, group, and polykarma, okay? So, for example, in terms of your ego karma, same things, your body, your brain, your routines, your the organization of your intraphysical life to keep yourself productive. So how or what are the aspects and points in your life that you missed? Okay. In terms of group karma, what kind of relationships that you were not able to clean or to reconcile up to now, to the time of your death? So reflect on this as well. In terms of polykarma, what projects that you had, that you believed or that you thought you needed to do, but you were not able to? And did you do anything in this life that has just finished that you see you will need to go back to it in your next life to fix? So we are going to reflect about this now. I'm going to give you 8 minutes as well. So you just don't worry about the time. I'll let you know when we are finished, okay? So it's gonna start now. All right, everyone, time's up. So now we are going to breakout rooms again. And we are going to share our ideas on the reflections that we have just mentioned, right? Or omissions. And we are going to have 6 minutes for that. Is it okay? Yeah? Good. So let's go ahead. So guys, how was it? Did you have a good reflection on your second task? Do you want to share any ideas, any thoughts? I'm happy to share mine. If you don't want to, I'm happy to, so I can start. I was telling the group that was a very, very good activity for me. And I was reflecting on some things that obviously omissions, right? And in terms of ego karma, what I like, the main message for me was I could have had a more organized routine throughout my life in terms of having the discipline to do my things, like take care of my body, food, exercise, my intellectual routine, writing, times, sleep, all that. I guess the main omission was discipline, the lack of discipline to organize my life. I guess this was the main message. And in terms of group karma, it was really, really interesting because I was telling the group, I have a great relationship with my family. However, I'm not present. And for me, it doesn't really matter because I'm not that attached to them. And but I was thinking that from their side, probably it's not the same. So it's sort of like egotistic to just, you know, have my life without giving, you know, having some time for them. And I think this is an omission. And the main thing, like the biggest, like what I told the group was like a huge smack on my face, was in terms of leadership. So I remembered many times throughout my life that I had the opportunity to take on some leadership, and I just didn't, for different reasons, but I just didn't, right? And another omission was that in some situations with some groups, this is what I wrote, I pretended I was a consin, not to jeopardize my position with that group. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about the conscientiology group because we just are there. We can talk about pretty much everything and act the way we are. But in different groups in society, or friends, or, you know, other groups that I could have expressed myself more entirely, but I didn't for some reason. So I think this was a huge omission. And in terms of polykarma, I didn't finish finish and publish a book that is in my drawer. And again, the leadership thing. So things that I could have taken on in terms of leadership that I didn't in different kinds of my life. So I think this was the biggest omission in this life that I had. Anyone else want to share?
It's interesting, this just from what you were talking about, that you wish you had spent more time with, or had better routines, right? Routines around your intellectuality and your health care, like your physical care and all those things. And I wonder, so because for me, that's been a long-standing theme, right? This sense of how can I maximize my time? Why do I keep not spending all the time reading that I could read, you know, or studying or writing, producing things? I know I could maximize my time more, but somehow I don't. There are things that come up, other things that come up. And I guess there is an element perhaps that we have also to accept that we are humans, right? That we are not just consciousnesses, but we're also humans. And sometimes I think learning about that is also important, like the cycles of life, like the sometimes on some days it's pointless, even though for me to sit down and write, for example, because my body is restless, I need to move, I need to be physical, I need to do gardening or exercise or something like that. Yeah, I think navigating. So it's not something I thought of as an omission, right? But in navigating my own sense of expectations of myself, it's been really important to sometimes just go, you know what, I'm a human being with all these different things running, and that's okay too. You know, I'm not a Valdo writing machine, for example, which they seem to be have the ability to just do that.
Yes, this is a good point, but it was not the task. The task was list your omissions, right? Because now our life is over. We are meeting the evolutionologist in probably 30 minutes, and we have to do this report, right? So this was the idea. But I understand your point, Kim. I understand your point, and I thought about that as well. Like now, at this point in my life, I don't have the energy I used to have anymore, right? I'm getting old, so I know what I have to do, and the effort that I need to give is not the same as the one I used to do when I was like in my 20s, because it was just like, I want to do it, I'll do it, and that's it. Now, things are different. So the effort that I need to do to make things happen is much more, and it's going to get worse and worse. I'm sorry, right? And it's really frustrating, but that's the reality that I need to deal with now. So that was like my reflection in this part of the report that really made me think, right? But anyway, I'm talking too much. Anyone else?
Can
We
I
still
add
have more tasks
something?
to do. Yes.
I was thinking about one of the polykarma omissions would be the productions, right? The intellectual productions per se, because we've done a lot, events and teaching and so forth, so on. But it comes to my mind that registering the achievements, the recycling in this new scientific perspective, which is conscientiology, is really important, because this omission will impact in my next life. Then I won't be able to do a more efficient self-relay on the next life, or even have this intermissivist harvest, you know, which are the written productions really gave it to you. Because sometimes an event, you're just like a small name on a footnote and that's it. But when you do your productions, and then it's kind of connected to what you're saying. So this lack of intellectual routine, day after day, month after month, year after year, impacts on my polykarma production. So I think it's a matter of, okay, we're human beings, we have our limits. What should I focus on? What should I cut out of my routine and really prioritize? Otherwise, I'm going to give like good excuses to myself. And I do that as well, right? I'm no longer 20 years old. And sometimes I really get tired and yeah, but then it came to my mind, okay, so, but Patricia, okay, if you can follow this path, but if you continue doing like that, you end up with a big omission, right? So it's nice to see you talking about it. It comes all to priorities. We cannot do everything. So, okay, and that's not the idea, to be exhausted. So, okay, what should I cut? And what should I focus on? Then I can keep the balance and really achieve my goals, right? This is kind of a reflection that I have right now. Listen to you all. And
Yeah.
also looking at
And
my
I guess it's
information.
yeah, and it has to be something cold, right? Cold, like if evolutionary, using our evolutionary intelligence, being cold, seeing the reality, and what we are doing with this, right? From here, where do I want to go, and what do I want to achieve, and how am I going to do it, taking into consideration all the reality that I'm in now, right? So I guess this is a good point. But guys, we have another task to do, so let's do it now. The thing is, the evolutionologist will give us a chance. So we are going to go back. We are going to have just a near-death experience. Okay? It's going to be a near-death experience. Some of us will have some issues, obviously, after this, but we are going to be able to go back. And once we go back, now it's time for us to reflect on what we are going to be doing in this, you know, moratorium that we are going to get, and how we are going to plan this last part of our lives. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and there is this this sentence from the Dictionary of Arguments of Conscientiology that talks about the Intermissive Course and how the importance of this life is. So I'm going to read it to you guys, and then you can have a read, and we are going to discuss about this. Okay, so it says, this biological life holds the value of 15 previous intraphysical lives. Based on this premise, one of our mistakes corresponds to 15 past mistakes, or one in complexes. Now is equivalent to 15 existential incompletisms or previous forfeits, based on the advanced self-awareness acquired through the Intermissive Course. So this is complex, and this is critical, right? So since we are going back to our lives and resume the same life from now on with this level of reflection that we have just had, the question is, what actions, changes, recyclings must I do from this point in order to make the most of the evolutionary opportunities to complete my proexis? So this is the question that I will leave for you guys to think. I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes to make your notes. And from now, okay? Don't worry about the time. I'll let you know when it's over. All right, guys. Let's have a few minutes, okay, to talk about this last task. Any ideas, or overall, how was the experience? Did you have any insight on your proexis, your priorities? How was it?
I can say some few words. It was actually a very interesting exercise. Actually, since I start to attend these meetings every month, I start to think a lot about things that was hidden in my mind. But yeah, the main aspect for me when I was doing this exercise was how to bring the lucidity early in life, to not make the same mistakes again and again. And I think this is one of the main challenges, is to be lucid about what you have to do here, and how to connect this with your traits. And one thing that also came a lot for me was this idea of let me just check how can I say this in English, is consensual triendowment. Yes, because for me, for example, I could see that in terms of evokarm, I had missed some opportunities to be more organized, as you were guys mentioned here. But also I could identify this aspect of the intellectuality that is something that I have, and it's part of my work. So this year was really special in terms of scientific publications for me, so papers in Science, Nature, but I still feel this sense of emptiness, that this is not exactly what you have to do with your intellectuality. And so I was talking about this, how to connect these three things: the intellectuality, parapsychism, and communicability. And the way I think I would have to improve and give the next steps now is to connect these things more, especially intellectuality with parapsychism, to communicate something that can actually contribute to people and to the polykarma in terms of approach. So this is what are the main things that came to me during this exercise. So it was very interesting.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
There is one idea that I want to share. It's about the things we've been talking about polykarma, and then, you know, put like ideas in practice with your leadership. You know, I think connects, like some ideas can be so important that affect everyone. So like democracy, it's just an idea, right? But when you put it in practice, can affect everyone. So that leadership, you know, Tati, that you just do something that will change a lot. And I think as intermissivists, all of us have those leadership, and I was thinking about little things that I have to change, but also big things that I can do, you know, that is different. And that's it.
It was a really interesting exercise. It was curiously powerful because I really felt something like a new responsibility I didn't realize before. It wasn't about what I do, but how I do. To be more generous, to be more psychic generous, to don't criticize people in my mind so much because they are dealing with so much things already, you know, and to get a more lean life, to have more focus in what is really important. So it was interesting. Thank you.
Very good. Lovely. We have 1 minute. Anyone else? Still time. You guys were afraid to meet with the evolutiologists, right? Come on. You guys are like, what? Yes, guys, this is just an exercise, but this will happen sooner or later. Can you believe it? It's gonna happen. Let's start thinking about it, right? Guys, we are finishing this year's book club. So first, I want to thank you all for the opportunity to discussing so many interesting topics throughout these months. For me, it was a great experience for me to read the book again with different eyes, different experience, and hear from you guys, the readers, your thoughts and ideas. And I really wanted to thank you, Isaac, for this opportunity, and the team to invite me and to give me this opportunity actually to you know, to interact with the readers and you know, hear experiences about the Intermissive Course as well. So it's been a great journey for me. And I also wanted to acknowledge the, you know, in terms of my book, the English version. We were talking about translations, right, Adina? So I really wanted to, you know, thank those who are here, Kim and Michiko, who have really, really kindly, revised, proofread my book. The English version which gave me so much confidence on the final work. And also Ligia, who is not here in the group today, but who was the translator of the book. And I really wanted to, leave here the message that is, we are a huge group spread everywhere on the planet, but we are, connected. So if you have any questions, if I can help you in any way in terms of the topic or any other topics that I might be able to help, just let's keep in touch, contact me, and we'll be connected, right? And that's it. I wish you all the best, and really, I wish you actually a complexes. Okay,
Tati, just a moment. I just want to, thank you for the generous book. That was a really good book, and I want to open to everyone here that wants to say something to Tati to do it. It's just if we can be brief, right? But so each of us that is present, there is people that was here but couldn't come today, but we are thanking you in the name of the whole group that participate with you. And so I don't know if you guys want, you can open your microphone and talk directly to Tathiana.
Yeah, I would like, sorry, Adina, I would like to thank you so much for this opportunity, because for this past month, for me, it was amazing to get in touch with the energy from the Intermissive Course, and reading your book helped me a lot to remember some things, but I don't know, it's not that I am missing it, because I still have good energies in my life and good friends, but this is something more and more and more, and you managed to impact my life in a way I cannot even express my gratitude for this book and for our meetings. And thank you so much. Thank you.
I would also like to thank to Tathiana for the book, and I have just realized that it is not important how many times you read a book, because each time you find different things, you have different understanding, and this is amazing, and this is the characteristic of a good book. And this is a really good book and very helpful for all of us. I want to announce again that next year in 25 we will finally have this book in Romanian at Editares, and I would like to and I have a question. When the next book, Tathiana?
You didn't need to ask this question in the last minute.
It has just come now. I'm sorry.
So yes, it's I've been working with one book for a few years now. Hopefully by next year I'll have the first draft final version, and then go to the other revision and proofreading and stuff. Yeah, but there is quite some work to do still.
Congratulations and thank you a lot.
Yes, and I just wanted to also say thank you, Tathiana. It was really, and for everyone, it was really great to be here. For me, it was like a reminder and history, my previous experience in conscientiology. So these kind of meetings I missed because I am here in Belgium without any other group here to have this regular meetings. So it was really important to make me think about these topics that are really interesting and important for all of us. Thank you very much.
Tati, I wrote something in the chat, but I just wanted to especially thank you and to call out, you know, this field that you helped create and the intermissions that you prepared for us, because every exercise really was so unique. And the self-reflections that it instigated was really, really valuable. I was able to learn things that and see things that I haven't seen before. So thank you very much, Tati.
Yeah, I'd like to mirror that comment about the field and the intermissions as well. That was a really great way in which you facilitated this space for us, I think, because I found in each break, things arose in my awareness, just going about my day-to-day life and also doing the exercises, but just having that, yeah, just understanding the insights always relevant to the topic we were exploring at the time, which was really showed to me that this process is not just happening when we meet here this once a month or twice a month, but it's kind of ongoing when you're immersed in this. So it was really nicely created, that space.
I would also like to thank you for the book. It's very well structured and you really see a bit of your personality in there. And I really am thankful for this sort of wake-up call to be more aware of that we in fact navigate through time and through space and through a series of lives. And if we are more aware of the fact that we can prepare for it, both to go back and to come back and fulfill what we promised ourselves we would do, it hopefully helps our evolution, and that's the big goal. So it's very important work. It's well structured, and yeah, very well done. Thank you.
I'd like to thank you, Tati, to share your experience, your book, your mental space with us. That was really important and was really good to spend each time here in the book club and with these ideas of Intermissive Course. So thank you very much. And we hope you stay with us.
Yes, I will.
That's a great segue, Magali, because then staying with us will mean staying with us and with Fernanda. So we have Fernanda here, who is one of the two authors of the book that we're going to be starting next year in February. I'm going to put a link to the book in the chat right now. It's called Self-Care, A Dynamic Approach to Integral Health. And Fernanda, it would be lovely if you are happy to say a few words about the book and what people can expect from the next book club.
Yes, I'm really, really happy to be here and to connect with all of you and share, discuss our book. This book was already in Portuguese, of course, and then it was translated to English with the valuable help of Jacqueline Owen. So, and other translations, but from Conscienciology, she was the one that really organized the ideas for us. And this is a journey about connection and integrality. So how do we comprehend our health and how it really is as a consciousness, as we are consciousness? And how do we organize our health, our daily issues, daily tasks, daily even thoughts about caring about ourselves, caring about others. So this is the idea of the book. For us, when we wrote it, it is a new perspective, because we have the Occidental medicine that probably is the one all of you grow inside. So we have doctors and hospitals, and we also have the integrative or alternative complementary medicines. And we are talking about Chinese, in Ayurvedic, Germanic, all the ancient indigenous medicines that also have a lot of power and a lot of knowledge in understanding the evolution and the meaning of being a self. And we have the consciential health, the conscienciology as a perspective to comprehend health. And how do we just get with all of this together in our mind and manage our health and our life in this perspective? So this is the exercise we are bringing to you today. We are going to make some reflections about how we organize all these ideas, how do we manifest, and how our health paradigm could evolve to be more consciential, to be more expressing our consciential identity. So it will be a good exercise, I hope. I'm really excited.
Yeah. And there is Fernanda and Mariana. Fernanda is a doctor,
Yes.
Mariana is a nurse. So this self-care book you can get in Amazon, and we are going to start in February. So we are going to send the publicity, but will be the last Saturday, if I don't mistake, of February. So we hope everyone can come and enjoy, right? Then Fernanda will be there with Mariana, and yeah, we are gonna send the task for you to start to reading in this period. I start to read, and it's really good. I think everyone is gonna love it. And we need self-care for the next year. We are gonna start with self-care, because that is one thing that Tati talked today, right? Ego. So let's self-care, let's have this, like, care about yourself, care about others, you know, to us to be here, right?
Yes, Mariana will be with us.
This is a great book for you to give yourself as a gift in the end of the year, to prepare for a new year with a lot of self-care, right?
Yeah, that's it, Tati. That is the idea. You start the year with self-care. So this book is in Amazon, right, Fernanda?
Yes,
we are gonna send
have.
the link there in the Bridge Book Club WhatsApp also.
I just shared the link here also in the chat, but it's for the Australian Amazon, but you'll find it in Europe and wherever you are. I'm sure it'll be there.
Yeah. Have a great end of the year, guys. And I hope to see you here in February again. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Take
Thanks
care.
everybody for being part of the group, making it a group.
Yes.
It's great.
Okay. Thanks, Guy.
Thank you,
Guy,
everyone.
Bye.